Stop pulling, Bandy. I'm still here. Let's see here. Alright. Screen's a little light. I gotta brighten up my screen here in my settings. We're gonna go look for these 21 skeletons that are in the cemetery. Who's on the ready for a mission adventure with me? I haven't looked for him yet. I'm gonna have to bring a couple people on here. Let me just go down here into the dark because I'm out here in the sun. I can't see the comments right now. Listen to people. They're just always complaining when they drive. Nasty people. Alright, let me just see here real quick. Okay. Let me see. Where are you? I'm not following everybody. Let's see. Can't really see much here. All right, so we're at the church. This is pretty cool. I want to talk to everybody for coming on. Thanks for coming on here. Can't really see the comments because the sun's really bright right now. This is a very special place here in Roxbury Township, New Jersey, that was founded on December 24th, 1740. We're at the original meeting house where the founders of this country, had meetings and tunnel systems that connect these two churches together. And then what they did was they built this church here in 1853, and then in 1960, 21 skeletons were discovered when they put the addition on. So we're gonna find, and they're supposedly buried in the cemetery in one of these headstones. So we're gonna go around to all these headstones around this church cemetery here, and there's some really old headstones, and then that church there was built 1851. And there's the headstone for the Oak Island Pirates' tombs outside the window. There's nobody in the gravesites. A coded headstone. Robert G. Shaw's name, the first ex-slave to become a soldier and graduate West Point University's birthday is on there. Is March 21st, 1856. Many civil rights activists' birthdays are on that headstone. And there's nobody in the gravesites. And two big oak trees with a box, because right up there where those pine trees are is where the tunnels and the tombs are. Because the tunnels are all through this whole town. And supposedly this church and the other church has tunnels underneath. So, we're going to go around here in a second. I'm just going to get a few more people. Let's see if I can get her to come up here. I can invite her. I have such a hard time trying to invite people. Oh, here we go. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Kit Kat.
Hello.
A lot of people that know me know Kit Kat. She's a really amazing woman that I've become friends with online. There's a lot of people I've met, and she likes to help out with their lives with me, and appreciate you coming up here.
Yeah, sure.
So you ready to go on an adventure? Ready to go look for these 21 skeletons in the cemetery where they were buried in 1960, and one of these grave sites behind this church. Yeah. So I got Mr. Bannett with me, and then what we were here because we're going to discuss this real quick, because this church was built in 1853. And if you can help me, if you see any comments that come up with questions or something, if you can, you can cut me off and say, hey, a question or whatever. or if you see like an invite, want to come up, it's okay to interrupt me because can't really see the screen right now because the sun is like blaring right now. It's beautiful today,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Isn't this church beautiful? 1853, and that's the 1851 church. Yeah, and then the Bishop House, I guess, was built 1852 at Rutgers University. So you got 1851, the Rutgers University Bishop House, and then 1853. You know, 1 year, each year they built one of these things. It's pretty wild. The Masons they had some amazing, they know what they're doing. So this church was built in 1853. And look what we have here. Does anybody in the comments want to just take a guess what all those sparkly things are? They're all pointed, surrounding the church where the 21 skeletons were discovered when they put that addition on.
What sparkly things?
Look at the sparkly heads. These are crystal spearheads.
Oh, too bad we
Look at all the crystal spearheads from the ancient people. These are all spearheads from the ancient people that they put here. Look how sharp they are. Razor sharp ones. They're all broken ones, good ones. So these are all artifacts that are from the people that made them, that are buried in this township in these cave rails that they want to bulldoze a block away over there, 12 South Hillside Avenue. So we got a watcher over. Maybe he's it might be a watcher over here watching me. He's watching me on TikTok, I think. Possibly some guy over here in his car. That's all right. So we're gonna walk around. So these are all ancient artifacts, spearheads, and then because this was the meeting house, the original meeting house, because they founded our country, you know, on the ancient civilization and covered it up and kept it a secret because would you want to tell anybody that you were taking, what is that? Coded stepping, some sort of a carriage stepping stone. See that?
Oh, that's
Out
cool.
the church here. It's a carriage stepping stone that they would use for the carriages. So you would pull up with the carriage, and this was a stepping stone for the carriages they used.
Oh, that's
Pretty wild,
really,
right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Right outside the church here, and like I said, I just wanted to go around the church here just to show you a little bit because it's amazing. They built this in 1 year, and then in the records, because there's amazing information. So if anybody wants to go online and look up information on the Lippincott Mansion and the Roxbury Historical Society, there's information there because they left all the clues for this story to be told, because this is all relates to the treasure map on the back of the dollar bill. This is part of the clues, because the M and the E is right over here. So we're going to look through these cemeteries and see what we can find. If we can find any of these old headstones here where there might be the 21 giants, because supposedly they were, we're going to go back to where they dug them up, because this is the addition back here. And we got some really old. There's like look at this, 1796. We got some really old.
Gonna make us dizzy.
Oh, I'm making you dizzy?
Yeah.
All right, what I need to do different, because I'm just walking, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just like nobody tried to read the stones yet.
Okay, all right, so what I can do is I can slow down and I'll stop.
Yes. Yeah,
How's that?
Yeah,
Isn't that pretty cool? So these are ancestors, it says. Anthony, London, ENG, 1616. Boston, Massachusetts, 1639 to 1687. Does anybody know who that is? I haven't looked up him yet. Then there's a Reverend Solomon, 1643, Northampton, Mass, 1669 to 1729. So there's people buried here before Roxbury was founded, and the settlers came in 1708. Because these are from 1600s. Oh, 1720, no, 1729, 1760, sorry, yeah. It's just that first one. I don't know, what is he buried here?
That's interesting.
Because look at the date.
Yeah.
I mean, he's here in 1687, and that wouldn't make, because it says in the registry that the settlers came here in 1710. And 1708 is when John Rogers, who I believe was the church treasury head of the Knights Templars, purchased the land from the American Indians. Pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
So then there's another one there, Outcome, 1705, 1750, John, 1730, Watertown, Connecticut, 1795. That must be a different John. See how it has the Johns here? John. What are the, or is that Elkimer? Is that what that means?
Maybe it's
John
like one family.
Well, I'm not very good at pronouncing.
Eliakim?
Wow, and this is crystal.
Okay.
This is the same stone that the artifacts are made out of. The same crystalline quartz material. Pretty wild. It's like a sandstone crystal. Actually, the giant spearheads, the ones that my wow, the one that my landlord's son busted up on me is the exact same color, crystal, same type of stone inside. Because they would have cut this stone here. They might have even made this. This might have came from a giant spearhead or some sort of something from the giants around here. I'm not really sure. But there's a lot of other ones. You can see the different names here, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's look around. So this was the addition, I guess, that was put on. This looks different. You can see the age of this church here. And then there's like this addition that's definitely 1960-ish because these are bricks from 1960. These are like the bricks, like when you're in high school and school, they had all the brick walls, kind of same thing. So that's like the 1960s, 70s, 80s type brick. So this is the addition. So when they put the addition on, somewhere in this cemetery, there's some sort of a gravesite where there's, I don't know if they put a headstone or did they leave an empty plot? Is there any, what is it called? And I don't have one of those apps running either, where they, the spirits are talking to you like those people do.
Oh, yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah. So is that, you see anybody want to come up? I can't really tell.
Let me see.
Let me see who's on here. So we're going to keep looking around here. All the different things. I mean, it's pretty cool. And then what we're going to do is, it's not going to just end here. We're going to go down to the headstone where there's nobody in the grave sites with the two big oak trees with the box. That's where I'm going to migrate to. But while I'm standing here, check out what's in the background. Do you see those buildings back there with the steeple back up here? The red buildings?
Yeah.
That is Roosevelt School and Lincoln School. And when you go on the satellite, because we're inside of the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill, you see that hilltop right there? Yeah, that hilltop, there's more burials there. There's burials on that hilltop. There's burials on that hilltop, and then the marker trees are over there, and then there's burials on the other hilltop. See, there's a marker tree there.
Oh, yeah.
1780 marker tree. 1780 marker tree. 1780 marker tree. 1780 marker tree at the top. The house that's up here from 1800s is the exact same house, built in 1979, same stucco house. And that was the model home for the M neighborhood on the back of the dollar bill. It's amazing what they did here. So, Roosevelt School, built in 1938, over the top of an underground bomb shelter. When they built the school, they put architected designs of the bombs on the roof so you can see it from space and memory what's below. Lincoln School, built over the top of the underground shooting range that I believe was built 1847, 1850, when they built the 4 mansions in this town and the safe house and modified all the tunnel systems for the Civil War that was coming. And then under that school, then they built that school, it's called Lincoln School. They built in 1918 in the perfect form of an H. Because that school, that shooting range was, I believe, turned into a, and I got to watch what I'm saying here because these are just history words, but I don't want TikTok to suspend me. It was turned into a hospital during the Civil War. And then I believe shut down, and then they built a school over the top of it, integrated the range into the school in 1918. And then the school is an H in memory of it below. And then there's pine trees that go down behind the school and then come through the cemetery, because between these two churches there's a tunnel system according to the elders. And I talked to someone else and they do believe that the tunnel system continues through the cemetery where the pine trees are up to under Lincoln School so they could use the range back in the day. It's really, really complex military, early American compounds in this township that were all secret and hidden, and they put the treasure map on the back of the dollar bill. It defined it all in 1935, and no one has found it, or maybe a few people before me tried to do something with it and ran into a lot of opposition like I have. But I've kept going, even though the cops have come after me 7 times just for filming, doing legal filming, and to stop me doing what I'm doing. I have continued.
That's great.
So,
someone named Mike says, "I love history and I'm loving this."
Yeah, so we're going to look for where these headstones are going to be. So this was the addition. So if they put this addition on 1960, it would have to be somewhere outside in this general area here, outside of where it would be, and it would be a newer headstone from the 1960 time frame. You know, it would think there would be some sort of a stone or something, because I can tell these are really old. I mean, some of these, and there's a lot of Sarahs. There's a lot of Sarah. Sarah, it was Abraham Lincoln's mom and sister. On the other church, too, there's a lot of Sarahs. Just a lot of Sarahs and Josephs. Some of these are really old. Look how old these headstones are.
Wow.
Yeah, really. And then they put them really close to the church, kind of like, look at like these. So they put this addition on. Oh, wait a minute. Why is this one in the corner so close to the church? This is Dickinson guy, son of Dickinson, born April 17, 1717, passed away 1853 when this church was built in 1853. His biography is written in the legislative, executive, and judicial records of his country. Wore the, what does that say? Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. So I don't understand what his biography is written in the legislative, executive, and judicial records of his country. I don't know who that guy is. He's got to be pretty important, right? Look at this. This is like a marble, or it's like a, yeah, it's a really nice old, really expensive headstone back in the day, right? A white headstone like that back in the day. This guy had some money.
Wow. There's someone here named Maureen, and she says, "Can I explain the treasure map on the back of the dollar?"
What does she want to do?
I don't know. She says, "Can she explain the treasure map?" She wants to explain the map. It looks like.
If she has some other information, maybe she's, somebody else has sparked their attention and they found something else I haven't found yet, because I basically found everything.
You want me to invite her? You want me to invite her up?
Yeah, if she wants to come up, ask her to try to do the invite, and if you can pull her up, or I can pull her up.
I sent her an invite, so hopefully.
But it's like I said, it's different history here, and I don't know. So we're looking for something from like 1960, and it was some headstone. Oh wait, here's a newer one in the middle of everything over here. What is this one? This is a fresh one. We're looking for some, because these are all like 17, 1800. I mean, these are really old. Look how old. It's a very old cemetery from the original founders.
I don't know if she has enough. Oh no, she does.
Does that say 1960?
I don't know.
What is this? Look at this. What do we got? 1960. June 1960.
Oh.
This is it.
No way.
This is the headstone for the Giants.
Hey, read it.
This is the article in the. Like I just told you, I said we're going to come here. We're going to go on an adventure today, and they said because in the newspaper it didn't tell you where they were, but I dug through the other records and I found some buried records, and it says that they were buried here. So right where I'm at, everybody, and I don't want to get too excited. There's 21 giant skeletons under my feet right here in this tomb.
Wow.
Right behind George Washington's hospital. That was an ammunition bunker where there's tunnels connecting the two things. For the Oak Island Pirates tomb headstone. And a block away is the tunnel system where I have the treasures and the bodies on film that they robbed in 2007. We found it. Now, has this been touched since 1960? I'm looking at the grass line.
Well, what did it say on the stone?
Let's just go back. Let's read it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm sorry. Brandon, no, don't go peeing on it. Don't pee on the stone.
Oh.
And it's out of like a pudding stone.
The rain will wash it.
All right. So it says June 1960. The following were respectfully reintegrated into this consolidated ground. 17 parishioners, courtiers, 1760s, and 21 Lenape found buried beneath them. Date unknown, whose original graves were uncovered during the construction of the Fellowship Hall.
Wait. It says...
There's more here. There's other ones. There's some from the 1760s, and then the 21. Then they named this as 21 Lenapes, but they're not Lenapes. They're 7 foot tall or larger individual skeletons.
Lenape.
Yes.
Lenape.
So they did put a headstone in because this headstone is not in any records. So this is the first time I believe anybody has found it and filmed it.
Well, that's cool.
And really went for it and dig it up, because right under my feet right now is the skeletons of 21 giants.
Here.
Isn't it amazing? We're making history here.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So let me take a screenshot. And I said today, remember I said, I said you're going to do we could do it live and we do an adventure. And would you like to go on and help me? And wow, we found it. It's so really here, because that's the addition from 1960. Because this is the original meeting house, and this was built in 1853. So let's keep the party going here. Let's go over to the headstone for the pirates.
I want to take a picture of it. Can you just go back for a second?
Sure.
So it's like I fits on the.
Sure, everybody can, and anybody can come here. Okay, just so you know, this location.
Well, back so I want to take a picture.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Hold on a second. Just 1 second. Just give me a second. I want to clear my screen.
If anybody else wants to take a picture, because this is history right here. And then look behind it. Do you see what's behind it? The tower of Roosevelt School and Lincoln School. Because Franklin D. Roosevelt was connected with Nicholas Rourke. He was the famous explorer who had the founding stone of the country of the United States of America. It's pretty amazing. And that stone has been found in this township. It's in a special secret place right now. But it's the 1 year anniversary now. And now I find the giant skeletons.
Cool. All right, go back to what you were saying. I got a picture. Okay. I think everyone probably had enough.
Is there anybody else that wants to, I don't know if Alien G's there. I wanted him. I don't know who's in the, if anybody wants to come up.
Alien G said he's going to leave it up to us.
Yeah, if he wants to come up.
He said it's okay. He said
I want him to come up. He's a good man.
Thanks, Chris.
He said oh, there he is. He's up.
Hey, brother.
How's it going, Chris?
I found them, brother.
Oh, man.
I knew I'd find them. They left you a record to find everything. Because this is the treasure map on the back of the dollar bill. To uncover the ancient civilization, the United States of America was founded on secretly. And wanted to be told. It's amazing.
So that's from the newspaper article that you had.
Newspaper, this confirms the newspaper article.
Yeah.
It says 21 Lenape found buried beneath them, date unknown. Okay.
But what is that word, Lenape? I don't understand.
The Lenape American Indians that said that they sold their land. The Lenape American Indians weren't 7 feet tall. Their land was the Lenape American Indians that was purchased by the Knights Templars. Right. They give you that information because, but right under my feet, under my feet, everyone, is 21 skeletons from the giants. If the government didn't come here and dig this up after 1960 and take them away so nobody can find them again, we have 21 skeletons from giants right under my feet. And that sits only a couple hundred feet from the coated headstone for the Knights Templars. And we're going to go see that right now. It's amazing history here. Hello. A lot of history here. Amazing. There's a headstone right there, the red one. If you want, go read it. I'm a historian. There's 21 giant skeletons under that gravesite. This used to be George Washington's hospital, and it was a meeting house. And there's a tunnel system that connects it. Yeah, you can. I'm doing it live on TikTok right now. I didn't want to. I didn't put you guys on the camera, so I don't want to put you on. I'm live streaming with a couple hundred people. This is a history thing. But check out that headstone though. And then the marker out front, there's a red marker, and it gives you all the information. Take a picture. It's cool. All right. Sorry, I like to tell. They were over here looking at all these little headstones here in the cemetery, and I give them something to go look at, right?
Ooh. Pretty cool story.
Check out this church, guys. Now we got a lot of little sinkholes here because there is grave sites here, but supposedly between these two churches, somewhere between these two churches, there's a tunnel system, and then it connects somewhere between these two churches and goes over to the underground facilities of the hospital and the bomb shelter. So in the records that I found, it says that the Lippincots were those. We're going to do is I'll stand right here. There's pine trees up there. Those are the pine trees, marker trees, that are on that hilltop marking the burials of the ancient giants that are below in the tombs of this headstone right here. So we'll go check out this headstone. I'll show you. And I checked with the church records and the cemetery when I first started this discovery in December of 2022. Every day of my life, basically, I've been working on this thing, and it's been amazing. There's nobody in these sites here. And then this is a very special one. I'm going to put Bandit over here just on the railing here so he's not pulling me when I'm filming. I'll put him right here in this little bush. It's such a beautiful day today, and he wanted to come out. So I'm like,
Oh, that was nice.
Well, you want to say hello to Bandit? Here, Bandit, you want to say hi to everybody before we go over to Headstone? Come here, bud.
Hey, buddy.
Say hi.
Hi, hi.
Say hi. No, don't go anywhere. You stay right there. You stay right there. Say hi to everybody.
Buddy.
All right. So, when I found the in the records for the property, it says that the Lippincots, and I did extensive research on the Lippincott family. There's no Lippincott family that ever lived here. It was a fake name. The Lippincott name is a fake name. So it says they donated the 1.5 acres, which is this property here. And then they built a church. 1850 to 1851. Bishop James donated $500 to have the church built. And then in 1851, they deemed it to be worth $5,000. And
Oh my God, the whole church?
They named the James Church, and it says outside of the church window is the headstone for the Lippincott family. So when I originally came down to this headstone the first day, in December of 2022, I looked at this headstone and I went like this.
Oh, there's the one with the trees.
Two big oak trees in the box.
Yeah,
representing.
There's like a box.
There's a box in the center, and this is oak placard.
There's a box.
This is oak placard headstone. It's like an oak finish, and it's like this white finish. What somebody took. What is that there? I had put this artifact up here, and somebody knocked it off. And this is something here. I don't know what that is. What is that? I don't know. Put the artifact back. So it's like an oak placard, and in the back isn't, and this has this. We'll get into the stain later. That's not just from water. So when I came down to this headstone, I was like, oh my God. Because I've watched all the Oak Island shows. I've researched all the Knights Templar stuff. I did it all during COVID. I freshened up on everything that I've basically was fascinated with for 12 years. And I always said I'm never going to look for the Oak Island stuff. And if I ever come across anything that reminds me of Oak Island, I'm going to stop and look. And what do you know? They had secret facilities inland. And then they put in a canal system in 1825 to make it all happen. And that canal system went over the ancient Anunnaki Giants canal system that was already established from Pennsylvania to Newark to bring in the coal. Because the Anunnaki Giants were miners. They melted a lot of material down. They mined gold, everything. So, this headstone, if anybody has any questions.
Yes, someone asked, was it a blood sacrifice?
What is that?
Can you say that word? read what Ski Kitty said. Can you see it?
No, I'm really, my screen is right now.
All right, she said, because you were talking about the stain going down the side of the stone, and she said, "The stuff that comes out of our veins, sacrifice?" Question mark.
Yes.
That,
In memory of the people that, with Robert G. Shaw, that perished in 1863 with the 54th Command of first ex-slaves that were pirates that moved inland to continue their piracy mission to take all the treasures from anyone who owned slaves. The Robin Hoods. Okay, so first date on here, there was no, there wasn't Elizabeth, and this is like a beautiful quartz. It's a beautiful headstone. It says this marble, quartz material, and it has March 21st, 1856. Now, March 21st, 1856. When I looked it up, I was like, it comes up as Henry Austin Flipper. He was the first African American ex-slave to become a soldier and graduate from West Point University. Wow, everything that is connected to the canal system and everything that was going on, everybody's from West Point University. So there's more information over here. Now this is all coded. Everything here, all the dates, all the information on this headstone is all code. So we have the first ex-slave birthday on the front, and then what do you have in the back? The true resting site of Robert G. Shaw and his 54th Command of ex-slaves, I believe, are buried right where those pine trees are, right there, right in the tunnel system. Because his father, Robert G. Shaw's father, was one of the richest men in Massachusetts, and connected with my family ancestors, the Joys and the Gallups. And George W. Bush is a Gallup also. You can look it up. There's Gallup sign off of Massachusetts, where there was a Civil War facility to house 3,000, everything Civil War, military, Gallups, and they broke away, but then they went to United Methodist Church to hide, because the Knights Templars is United Methodist Church. They left you in the records of everything there. So this is a coded headstone, and right now that it's not wet, it's kind of hard to see, but this is Robert 18, it says Robert 1839. So if anybody wants to go look up online, look at Robert Small's headstone, 1839. You're going to see the exact same Robert 1839. So I believe they use Robert Small's headstone of 1839 as the template key headstone, because he was hired by Abraham Lincoln to hire escaping ex-slaves to become soldiers in the Civil War Army. They give him $1,500. So there's more. And then this is an R. Like when I first started, it was like the CA and an H. I'm like, who's that? Well, Captain Anderson A's. And then there's all kinds of crazy stuff here. So if anybody wants to take any screen caps of this, pictures, and start kind of going through the dates and what's here, you're going to have some fun. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's a massive puzzle.
You can't really see the dates. It's impossible.
Can't really see it.
I don't think it's going to show up very clearly.
Yeah, the lighting is kind of off right now. You know?
Somebody here, Ski Kitty says, my grandfather was with General George Washington at the surrender of Cornwallis.
Oh, wow.
That's
yeah, one of my, according to the genealogy book, one of my great-grandfathers, many ago, was commissioned by George Washington to be the ambassador of India when the king's treasures were in Madagascar in the 1700s. Because this township is founded. This town, oh look, somebody was at Home Depot and they bought some shrubs. They're going to plant some, looks like some fruit trees.
Somebody here named Two Cranes says, this is legendary stuff, Beal, but what are you doing all this for? What's your purpose as the way you see it?
Preservation of the tunnel tombs that they're going to bulldoze. The bottom pyramid on the back of the big E in the dollar bill. That's what's here. The pyramid is there on the back of the dollar bill, there in physical form. Pyramid is there in physical form. Pyramid is there in physical form. Anunnaki cave giant burials, Anunnaki giant cave burials, Anunnaki giant cave burials, Knights Templar tombs on top. Headstone or tombs on top. that they put in here in the 16 or 1700s, because the King's Treasure Vault that sits up on that hillside below the phoenix bird and the giant carved turtle that's from the 1700s has 4 oak trees around it from the 1700s marking it with a hobbit tree. And there's a tunnel system that goes into the tunnel, 21 paces long. Everything in this town is in memory of 21, March 21st for 21, and 12 when you turn it backwards for Abraham Lincoln's birthday, and where those 2 presidents may be buried, Lincoln and Washington, here in the crystal vaults below that hilltop. Because the amount of stone that came out of that hilltop that's surrounding that property as artifacts from the ancient people. There's massive caverns under that hilltop that are covered up with cement slabs from the Knights Templars. They capped the whole entire mountain. It's like 30 acres of land they capped and smeared it all the way down and put all their tunnels and rooms and capped the whole thing on top of an ancient Anunnaki giant's pyramid. Really wild what's here.
Someone here thinks that Shaw was buried, where is it? In South Carolina, I think he said.
That's where they said they think they found their bodies a couple years later. But this is a painted stain, okay? And there's a code that goes through. All these are codes. The last code, P19 for the glory of God. Glory. Okay, and there's other dates here. 1840, they cleaned out the money pit on Oak Island. They cleaned out the money pit, 1840, okay? Because 1840 is when Captain Anderson Hayes faked his unaliving. And then his other headstone says he died, Captain Anderson Hayes says he died 1909, December 24th. He didn't just die December. So what they did, I'm going to give you all a major piece of the clues here of what they did with this coating headstone. Robert Small's headstone is the key. Everyone they wrote about with the Civil War and all this stuff here that doesn't have a birthday and an unaliving date and just the year of both, they're likely here in the tunnel system, along with Hookie from the Lewis and Hookie expedition, because the Lewis and Hookie expedition dates is on this headstone. I tracked down Hookie and Lewis's headstone. Lewis has the right information. Hookie, oh, look at that. Red-tailed hawk just landed on top of the pine trees on top of the mountain. The red-tailed hawks are nesting up there now. They're getting ready to have their nest again. And I just saw the red-tailed hawk land on top of the pine trees. There's 3 of them. There's 3. There's 3 of them together and then 1 for 13. 1 and 3.
Nice. Oh, so Two Queens has something else to say. He says,
yeah.
So, are you on secret holy territory, or is this the evil Freemason land of Satan?
This is ancient Mesopotamia, the Garden of Eden. You know, they call New Jersey the Garden State because when you read about it, there was 4 rivers. We have the Delaware River, we have the Raritan River, we have the Rockaway River, and we have the Hudson River, to making all 4 rivers where Mesopotamia once was. And then we have the massive canal system that cuts across New Jersey that they covered up with the tracks so nobody could ever find all the artifacts that they originally covered up below, including all the crystal and crazy statues, and it's all here. Oh, and then they grinded it all up too when they put the tracks in, because they were the government. They had all the ancient technologies. They had advanced technologies of cement mixers that they didn't tell anybody in the world they had, because they built 18-inch concrete basement walls for everything that's here underground. The shooting range, the mansions, they all had 18-inch concrete slab walls. In 1850, who put 18-inch walls in out of concrete? Right?
Hi, brother.
So, and then another thing. So we're going to go back to this headstone. So now they painted this, and this is a code. This code here is for Pratt University, who did all the architecture work for the buildings that can be seen from space. And then there's another code here for like the smartest people in the world that invented all these things. And then we have over here, there's a, this is for another general in the Civil War. And then there's some, basically, civil rights activists, birthdays here. They all relate to civil rights activists, and they might be in that up there too. And then So we have Henry Flipper, March 21st, 1856. Henry Flipper, independent minister for 41 years. That is Henry Tupper. Oh, Henry Tupper, who built Shaw University in 1865. Wait a minute. Shaw University is really named
Hey,
after.
can I ask you a quick question, brother? I'll
Sure.
tell you, there's pyramids everywhere, including the U.S. Okay, are you into frequencies? Also, do you happen to be under where the eclipse is going through that little strip? Did you
Well,
catch
I've
those
got a little bit
frequencies
of
in
an
the
issue that I have a court date with the Wicked Witch of the West on April 8th, and I'm trying to get out of it. And I already
get the
sent in.
fuck?
I sent in an
Are you
adjournment notice, and they denied me. I'm like, wait a minute, how could this be? I'm not going to be stuck in court fighting this woman who's against me of everything I'm discovering, and I live in her house, and the oak trees overhang the house. It's pretty wild.
Wait a minute. Are you what town are you in right now? Like what town? Where are you
I am
at?
in
Are you literally under the
Roxbury
eclipse?
Township. Well, this is Succasunna, New Jersey. The valley of Succasunna that was called Black Rock.
Are you under the eclipse?
It's on the edge of it. It's on the edge of it, I guess. It's in New Jersey. I'm 30 miles west of New York City. That's it. This is
What have you done? Can
Roxbury
you
Township, New
discuss what you
Jersey,
have done
founded
to get
on
some people?
Christmas Eve, 1740.
Okay, does that fall in line with maybe the destroyed bells at all by
Oh
chance?
yeah,
If
well
you're into
these
frequencies?
these buildings house the extra metals. These bell
Mm.
towers were built. These are bell towers. Okay,
And they don't
and
have the original bells.
I don't know. I've got major opposition from these two churches, from the people that run these things, because United Methodist Church has basically gone woke now with the U.S. government and all this blah blah. And then these
Ah.
people, there's not even anybody here. You try to talk to them, and they. But I know I've talked to the elders, and there's tunnel system that connect these two churches below
All
because
right,
the meeting
what
house
was the
is
year of the World War II destroy? What was the year, if you know offhand, the bells were destroyed? Big bells, people, like big bells. And connecting to that little thing you were just showing, it wasn't someone's gravestone per se, but it was a structure you were just showing. I took screenshots. What it had 18 something on there. Does it have a correlation with those dates? Very curious.
I don't know. I've been working on this headstone. It's got crazy information on it, and then when you
What
find
year? Mhm.
this church here was built according to the records 1849 to 1850 to 1851, and then Bishop James. We got a Bishop James here. Okay. Bishop James was the representative of New Jersey in 1849 to 1850 opposing slavery. And in 1855 to 1857, Bishop James was opposing slavery, and he's a congressman. I believe he's buried in the tunnel system up there because I found his headstone when I first went online and started doing my discovery, and it's no longer there, and it's changed. It's a nice Templar headstone with a money pit dollar sign in the center with a sword going across. And he doesn't have the
Could you,
birth.
in fact, get some people to back your shit to start digging?
Well,
People
the
that
thing
do the
is the state
digging.
of New Jersey's against me, and then the government is against me, and then the Eagles and Condors called me and threatened me, and they're supposed to protect sacred sites in America, and I found out that they're an arm of the Vatican, I believe.
But question, where you're pointing to, where these pyramids and such are,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there
There's a pyramid
actually
on that hilltop from the
cemetery? But
ancient
there's not
Fijian lands.
cemeteries on the hilltop, right? And they've dug into Indian burial grounds, so is it possible you could get some help with the diggers? You know who I'm talking about?
Well, I can get into the tunnels, but I'm not going. I already have camera scope down into the tunnel system. It took me 4 nights, 4 long nights in the wintertime to dig down, drill 4 hours through this Knights Templar concrete or Naki giant.
Legally? Or should you not be talking about this?
No, I had
Did you do
permissions.
it legally?
I actually had permissions because the woman that I live in her house, she brought me onto the property
Mhm.
originally and said I have permission to take rocks and trees because they're going to bulldoze it all.
Oh.
Because she knew the contractor. And then when I told her about everything I discovered, all of a sudden she turned into this warrior against me, wanted me evicted from her home.
Oh, I know how that works. Somebody got
And
to
I'm not
her.
going to tell what their last name is, but the same name as the ones that went after Jesus. That's all I'm going to say.
Sure, if you get
Figure it
permission
out
next
for
time, get that
yourself.
shit in
It's
writing.
crazy story, and that's why
Get
I
it in
said it's like,
writing or on video. They're every permission from here on out, for sure.
oh yeah, no, I have everything. Yeah, I do. But the thing is what's here needs to be preserved because this is the founding history of America, the most sacred site in America, and that's why the U.S. backed dollar bill was. Everything was put on there in 1935 and written up by 1782 by Washington, Jefferson, and everybody in memory of the ancient civilization
Hey,
America was
what are
founded on.
those people that have the technology to go from above, say in a plane, with that technology
The
where
lidars,
they
the
can
meteor, yeah. But the thing is when I first
scope?
started, well, I just want to let you know, there's a scientist that's at the Ogdensburg Museum. I'm going to throw him under the bus a little bit right now. Because that guy had sent me
Sure.
some pretty crazy emails about that. I didn't discover anything. There's no pyramids. You're crazy. He was helping me out in the beginning. And then someone talked to him and he turned on me. Because a lot of these people turned on me. Because the people that are involved with the robbery of the tunnel system, I believe it may go all the way to the top.
But
The
there's regular
very,
people
very
now.
top.
If they've got enough
Because
money,
because
they
George
can
W. Bush was
fly
in
over.
office in 2007 when the mansion was robbed of America's president's treasure tombs.
But regular people now, if you could find
So,
someone with the
but
money,
otherwise, so
as
I'm
long
going
as
to
you
get
have the
back
idea,
to.
they could fly over and do that technology above
Well,
ground,
no,
even
they
if you
can,
don't
but the
have
thing
the
is, it's
backing.
costly, and the government is the one that controls all these, the testing sites and stuff. So,
Airspace.
but I'm gonna walk back to the giant skeletons, and then I'm gonna probably end the live here because I gotta run, and my battery's getting a little low too. So, but we found the skeletons. Now all I just need is to get archaeologists that are actually not connected to the government and not being told
That's
what to
what I was
do.
saying, archaeologists. Yes,
Well,
I
we
was
have to
saying
get
that.
archaeologists that are actually independent ones. Like I'm a self-taught archaeologist. I've educated myself in archaeology since I found my first spearhead in my backyard when I was 13, below a ancient Clovis burial mound that's in Parsippany, where George Washington had one of his houses on the corner. No crap. And we preserved that burial mound when I was a child. And I'm doing the same thing as an
But
adult,
because of your
protecting another
permissions,
burial mound. But I'm protecting the bigger
during the
burial mound.
time you had your permissions to go through those tunnels, you got the video, all that, right? The time that you had the permissions, could you take that mess?
I'm
Of
not worried
course, you
about what
have
happened.
backup.
It doesn't matter. I went on the property. I got some information. I didn't destroy it. I was respectful because I know there's tombs there. I'm not even going to tell you what happened before.
Right, but that
before
information you have, could
yeah,
you utilize that in
I have.
some
I put it
manner?
online. I sent it. I have a petition on right now. There's a petition in my bio. If people click on it, you go on there and you'll see the information about those properties that need to be preserved because they're not upholding federal laws. Because we have a senator in the United States of America that was the lawyer for Roxbury Township in 2021 for these two properties they're going to bulldoze.
Well, find out if that motherfucking senator has signed their oath of office, because even our public officials
Well,
in
I
school
called
and
him,
cities.
his office, over 30 times, and they finally gave me a response. Senator Anthony
Mhm.
Bucco has no response because of conflict of interest on these two
Has
properties.
he signed the oath of office? Because if he hasn't, he's illegally in this goddamn position.
You
He
gotta
is
watch the
he is the
language.
current sitting senator, and we had a senator about 4 or 5 months ago. Mr. Menendez get indicted with some gold bars with an Egyptian real estate guy. Oh, and I wonder
Chris, can
where
I
the
ask a
gold.
question?
Yeah,
In the newspaper article, what's the rough estimate how tall these giants are?
7 foot or taller.
Oh, 7 foot,
All 7 footers. Yeah.
all 7 foot.
Yeah, all 7 footers. Because that's what's here. They had what I found is there was larger giants that evolved down, and then they can continue to keep coming back and founding like their civilizations on top of the civilization that was mud flooded over between the previous ice ages. And they did that for maybe, 1 million or 2 million years here, up to where
I
we're here
realize your
now.
phone is going to die, but where do you come in with this giant stuff and evidence and all that? Where did you fall into that?
I have found all the artifacts of the giants that were piled up by the Knights Templars throughout this valley to be found as treasures, because all the other artifacts they buried with the canal system, and they wanted to set some aside for treasures to tell who these people were.
Yeah, and it's in a newspaper article, and it actually says giants
Yeah,
in
no, that's
Roxbury.
what it is. No, it says 21. So that's all we need to do is find the one with the 21, right? Because it was 21 giant skeletons. And
Got
this
to
is
be more than 7 foot, no, Chris. That's not very tall. 7 foot. That's not really a giant.
7 footers.
Zoom in on that
But
one more
they
time.
were
I'll take a
evolving.
screenshot.
Those are the small ones.
Chris,
The,
can
the,
you
the
go
bigger
back to it?
giants, the bigger giants are the ones before those. They evolved all the way down. Every in between each 144,000 year period that they came back, that they what is it called? So,
Can you
but they're
straighten it out a little bit so someone could take a screenshot?
yeah.
I think you mean 15 foot. What did she say? 15 in the chat. She said it's 15 foot. So
Because there's some really big artifacts, and then there's other artifacts that aren't as big. The ones that aren't as big sit on that hilltop because that is the newest, latest civilization. That is the oldest civilization, and that is the second oldest civilization. So we have the oldest civilization pyramid, we have the second oldest civilization pyramid, and then the last civilization that was here no later than 65,000 years ago.
So the word on the stone that said Lenny dash something, I took a screenshot.
Yeah,
That referred
Lenacade.
to
I
the giants.
contacted those individuals, but they're kind of like controlled by the government, their organization, and they don't really care what's here. They don't care about
It's
the.
not a government. I'm going to correct you. It's a U.S.
I've
corporation.
contacted them.
Yes.
They're in Oklahoma. They're called the Delaware Nation, and Biden is from Delaware, so we're not going to get into that.
No, we don't
So
need
that's
to.
that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the live, so I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm going to end it here in another minute or two if anybody has any questions. But these are really amazing churches, and we can walk through the old cemetery here again. And like I said, there's some pretty old founders here, and we have
Tell me,
the only new cemetery, the headstone in the middle there with there's actually some 1760 people too. There's some other ones that were there too. So.
did you just say the name and the name of the city and state you're in again so I could type that take
This is
screenshot again?
Succasunna. And these are, see all these things here? These are all spearheads from the ancient artifacts that they built this church in 1853, or
they
the
look really
wall was
pretty.
already built.
Yeah, well, they look
In
nice.
I missed your city and state. I'm sorry. There it
Succasunna,
is.
Succasunna, New Jersey.
Succasunna. And it used to be called, we're going to go over here and we're going to end it with the sign.
I typed it in somewhere.
I'm going to just show you what.
I thought it was Roxbury. I got confused before.
Because these are all spearheads. They use the spearheads from the giants all around the church, where the burial, where there is burials of the giants here too, as a respectful thing. See,
Well,
because this is
make
the
sure you
original.
declare, because I'm sure you have all your evidence protected somewhere in case anything happens to you, right? Isn't
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
That's right.
So here's the amazing true churches. At nighttime, they're amazing when they're lit up. So and we're going to end it here, and then here is, if you want to take a screen cap of this, this is the marker, which is not really in any registry of any national registries, because it's one of the clues for the treasure hunt game on the back of the dollar bill. To uncover the ancient civilization America was founded on. And I believe Nicholas Roerich
Wait,
and
that's
them.
Succasunny. Is it Succasunna or Succasunny?
Well, they changed it from Succasunny to Succasunna because it was the sunny, and they had to get rid of the sunny part because that relates back to the Mayans, and then they had to get that out of the registry.
Oh, of course they did. You know how the Mayans buildings kind of reminisce.
Yeah, we'll have
computer
artifacts here.
chips and all
The
that.
Mayans that were here, I believe, are the 7-footers because they were like the last civilization here is these Mayan Egyptians that were like 7-footers. But the ones before them were evolving from 10-footers to 15-footers. There might have been some 15-foot giants here or bigger, like kind of like, the movie that we seen a long time ago with the Empire State Building with not Godzilla. What's his name? Um, the movie
The
with
one
the
that fought Godzilla.
1930s, with the guy that climbs up the Empire State Building, the monkey.
Yeah, the gorilla, the fucking.
King Kong.
What's his name? I can't.
Yeah.
King
Me
Kong.
too. King
And they made the
Kong.
movie, and
Yeah.
he was in love with the blonde-haired girl in the jungle,
Yeah.
and they
King
brought him
Kong. Yeah.
King Kong. King Kong. Yeah, King Kong. That's like King Kong stuff here. So, but then the last is
What
like
do
I
you
said,
think?
these
Do you
are all
think
the
they'll
artifacts.
come back? Do you think the Giants will come back, or is it just part of a hidden history they like to
Well, they are
hide?
back right now. I'm showing you their
You,
artifacts, and I'm showing you where their
you think?
bones are. They are back.
You think they're
The
back? You
Giants,
think?
they're not coming back in physical form. They're coming back
Mm,
in their form of their artifacts and their cave
mm.
burials and the clarity so that we won't have any more religious wars. And everybody's going to be on the same page of where we all came from. And we are all connected, even though we evolved separately in different parts of the world. Since then, we're still all connected.
I
Yeah.
agree with that, Ness. Thank
And we
you.
must
So nice
love
to meet
one
you,
another,
Chris.
love ourselves, and love one another. So I'm going to end the live here. Thank you very much for everybody watching. And any last
Thank you,
questions?
Kit Kat. I found you
Thank
through
you.
her
Thank
because
you,
I saw her
everybody.
on. Thank you so much.
Of
Thanks,
course, it
Miss
was great
Butterfly.
having you.
Thank you, Will, for coming up, brother. I know you didn't say much, but you just come up here and thank you. You know, and I found them now. I knew I'd find it today. I just had a feeling because
Yes,
they
I
were
had one question.
sure.
I was wondering whether the church is trying to cover it up because I never read in the Bible about giants in Roxbury. So maybe they're trying to sweep it under the carpet.
Well, I think that
What do
that
you think?
newspaper article that happened in 1960 of June 2nd, it never made it out of the township. It was there, and if somebody in the township like lived here, might have been able to pick up the information. But they did that addition, I believe. Maybe they planned that addition for 1960. They have no rediscovered it yet. Let's put some bones there. Let's plan an addition to hit them, and then we'll plant them in the thing. It's all part of the founders. These men that founded our country were the true men that were fighting for our religious. So you could believe in anything you wanted to believe in, right? And as long as you were a good person, and you didn't commit, you didn't have slaves, you didn't force anybody against their will to do anything they wanted to do, because that's considered slavery in my book. Anyone forcing anyone in this world to do anything against their will, except for if you have
No,
children,
it's
you have
all
to guide
about
them.
acquiescence.
Yeah.
Acquiescence.
But I'm gonna run here,
On the same
okay?
note, I think most people don't know
I'm gonna
about
run here,
Snickers
okay?
either.
Thank you everybody for watching, and I
All
hope
right.
everybody
Thanks,
enjoyed
everybody.
this
God bless.
little amazing
Bye.
day today. Thank you.